Good morning from Vivi Pilates. It is Monday, and as every Monday, we'd like to talk a little bit about Pilates and a particular exercise or action that we choose to focus on. As you can see, I'm alone today, so I will be showing you the exercise, and next week, hopefully, Kristen can join us again. We have been talking about the pelvis stability, which is a theme very important to Vivi Pilates' style of teaching. And today I'd like to talk about the saw, and before that, about the spine stretch forward. The two exercises are related because both of them have flexion of the spine from a sitting position. But the saw is a little more advanced because there's also twisting of the spine at the same time. In both of them, though, it's very important to maintain the pelvis stable so that the spine can really move. So that's the main reason why our pelvis has to stay stable while we do the exercises, because then we can really get the most out of our flexion or lateral flexion, extension. Any kind of movement in the spine needs to have a strong base of support. So let's start with the spine stretch forward. So the exercise starts sitting up. It is important to sit right on top of the sit bones. If that's not possible and you find yourself falling back or sitting at the back of your sit bones and kind of slouching, that's very common nowadays. So just bend your knees. That should help. If this doesn't help, then take anything you can sit on, a little stool or a strong box, something that makes you sit a little elevated, and that will help you. You might even notice that you can have your legs straight in that case. I've been using little stools with my clients all the time because none of my clients who take lessons online with me right now have Pilates equipment, but they do have stools. So that's the most common piece of furniture that we use for this reason. So make sure you are feeling those 2 points at the bottom of your pelvis. And do whatever you need. If you need to keep your knees bent, please keep your knees bent. If you can extend them, make sure you're not, again, sinking back. Then your feet have to be pressing down. They're wider than your hips. And then you reach your arms up in front of you. Here already, I'm trying to maintain my pubic bone and my hip bones facing forward, pretty much on the same level. So my pelvis, again, is stable and neutral to the wall in front of me. Then I take a big breath in, inhale. As I exhale, I start rolling my spine forward head first, and then my upper spine, and even my lower spine. I go as far forward as I can maintain my pelvis stable as it was. Inhale and come back up. And again, exhale and stretch. Inhale to come up. So it doesn't matter how far I go. I can go just a little. If I cannot maintain my pelvis stable, then I should stay here. If I can go further, I go further, but without allowing that change in my pelvis as much as possible. Of course, I'm trying my best right now. And again, inhale and stretch. So as we were talking the past weeks, I'm not trying to hold tight or grip my pelvis so that it stays it doesn't move at all. I'm trying to do little adjustments inside of me so that my pelvis looks very still, but it's actually moving inside. So as I go forward and my pelvis wants to tip forward, I rotate it back in opposition, and that's what makes me maintain my pelvis stable. And as I come up, I slowly go back to my neutral position. So it looks easy, but it's not. It takes a lot of focus, like all Pilates exercises, and that's why Pilates is so great. Now, when to this we add rotation of the spine, of course things become a little more messy. So in the saw, we have our arms open to the side. We twist to one side, we round forward, then we come back up and center. Then we twist to the other side, we round forward, we come up and center. So as you can see, there's still the spine stretch forward movement, but now we're twisting too. Now what happens? If I twist without trying to maintain my pelvis stable, this is going to happen. This is what happens normally. So my hips want to twist with me, but I try to keep them stable. So as soon as I twist to one side, I untwist or twist to the opposite side with my hips. Right now I'm twisting towards my left side, so my left hip has to come forward to not allow this motion. And as I try and do this, now I round forward and I keep doing that action. As I reach forward, then I come up and center. I twist to the other side. Now I'm going to my right, so my right hip will want to go back, but I keep it forward, pulling the abdominals in on both sides and trying my best to maintain both hips stable. And then I come up and center. Sweep and round forward, come up, center and twist, round forward, come up, center. So this makes, of course, the rotation makes it even harder to maintain the pelvis stable. But again, it's important to maintain the range of motion that allows us to work with that stability, and eventually the range of motion becomes bigger, the movement becomes more fluid, and everything becomes a little more easy, even though it's always very complex and it always needs a lot of focus and concentration. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you again next week, and have a great week.